Alright, you no-good, lazy son of mine. If you think you were such hot stuff on a 16-bit system, I dare you to prove it again on a real console. 8-bit glory. And don't you dare back out of this, because I already gave Karul your banana horn.
What?
Wait, what?
Oh, you lost me there for a
Don't
minute.
take backsies. You gotta go get it yourself, Sonny. Have fun.
Wait, what?
This would be the part where if I was gonna be mean, which I shouldn't, I would have said, "Hey James, do," but then like heavily bit crunch it later and put that like as a compressed audio clip. But that would, I don't know, that would sound good.
Going off that joke, the face DK's making right there, that's his exact reaction of, like, Cranky putting him in this situation. He's just like, wait, what?
Yeah, it's...
Hey, Cranky, I love you, but
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Donkey Kong Land for the Game Boy. You may be wondering why we're doing this all of a sudden. Well, it's honestly because, well, everyone else is busy, we got nothing better to do at the given moment with just the three of us, and I was feeling in the mood to play some more Donkey Kong. So, welcome to Donkey Kong Land. Not quite so much Donkey Kong Country, but, it more or less plays the same, to some degree.
I mean, I will give them props for, you know, it could have been, I mean, okay, as we saw later with the Game Boy Advance, it would have been so easy for them to just port or make slightly watered down versions of the original, you know, country stages, but instead they try to give us their own unique little adventure, albeit, you know, bite-sized.
Oh, don't you worry, Logan. That fear of, like, oh, it's just the SNES game, but just at a much lower quality, they technically already did that with Donkey Kong Country for the Game Boy Color.
Oh, I forgot I also was on the Game Boy Color. I was thinking of the Game Boy Advance.
But this predates that by about a couple of years. In fact, I want to say this came out the exact, like, literally a year after the original Donkey Kong Country, and just a few months prior to Diddy's Conquest. So, yeah, no, that being said, you still have DK and JD on your person, you still collect Kong letters, though they serve a different purpose this time around. Instead of earning you an extra life, like the balloons do, the Kong letters are actually required if you want to save your game.
Oh.
Every single level, if you want to save your game, you literally have to collect all the Kong letters in every level. Not unlike, say, you know, the Tana tokens in Crash Bandicoot.
Devious. But I guess beyond that, there you go, you can say that. So I guess I'll say, are there any other, like, I noticed there were a few little things in that, level that also did not look familiar from Donkey Kong Country. What other little things have now happened in Donkey Kong Land compared to the country?
Ouch! Whoa. Well, for starters, the second level is literally in the Icy Mountains, which was literally the bane of our existence when we played this level.
Oh boy.
Way back in our Donkey Kong Country playthrough.
Yeah, that didn't take us too long. Now, okay, I also noticed, what are these coins with the Kongs on them?
I can talk about those a little later, but for now, I'm going to free my buddy DK. As he flies straight to the stars.
Do you get to swap on the fly, or do you have to just wait to get hit?
No, you can swap on the fly. With the select button. I mean, again, say whatever you will about Donkey Kong Land, but it is impressive how much they got away with on, you know, putting the fun of Donkey Kong Country on a portable system, like pig enemies that with wings.
Oh, God, that reminds me of a phrase I would say in such situations like this, but I just can't remember it. I mean, I'll give it credit, like, even, I mean, clearly, if you were to at any point in time stop and actually zoom in on these sprites, they wouldn't look all that nice. But in motion, they did a decent job putting the rotoscoped, or whatever we're gonna call them, sprites from the. Yeah, they did a decent job putting those onto the Game Boy, and in.
Oh!
Oh!
Let's try that again.
All right, thank goodness we have checkpoints, and yeah, no, just in motion, it's all doing. It's running. It looks like it's running pretty well to me. Like no real slowdown happening right here.
Not really, no. I mean, it was able to handle itself pretty well, though. That being said, the color palette that you're currently seeing is actually not something from the original, you know, Donkey Kong Land release. Like, whether it be on the actual Game Boy or the Game Boy or the Super Game Boy on the Super Nintendo, a lot of these sprites were more or less sharing a it was all very monochrome.
Yes, I mean, yeah, because Game Boy, fair enough.
Right. What you're seeing here is actually how the game would look like if you were to play it on a Game Boy Color, which is pretty much how I was introduced to the game. Way back when I used to collect these things, back when GameStop still sold them.
Which, thank goodness, because
Actually,
this looks a lot nicer. Go ahead, Ivan.
Actually, now that I think about it, like, if it was feasible to play this on a Game Boy Color, like they even had the foresight of having like color put into it for the Game Boy Color,
Yeah.
it really makes DKC for the Game Boy Color all the more redundant.
Not entirely, because Donkey Kong Land, unlike its sequels, actually takes a lot more liberties with the core foundation than even those games did. Like, again, not even just counting, like, putting the freaking snow level in the middle of the very first world. Like, they added new enemies, new locale tropes, and also these coins, which, you know what, I'll go and say right now. Their purpose is not immediately obvious until you reach very specific bonus rounds, which tallies up how many coins you've collected across your journey, and they shoot. It's pretty much a minigame where you shoot them out of a barrel cannon, and if you recollect them, it earns you another life.
Oh, okay. So they're for that. I guess I gotta put this. In that case, they kind of remind me of the big coins you find in Mario 2, where like they're useful for bonus purposes afterwards. Oh,
honestly, yeah, it's exactly like that. Except you have a little more control over if you can actually earn those lives or not, instead of it just being mostly random chance.
true.
Gotcha.
Okay, that's also true. And I mean, beyond that, like I'm watching here, like I mean, they have the freaking roll jump and all that. Like again, like props to those developers.
I take that back. No props.
They're all hacks. No, they're all fine. Just the way Donkey Kong just crosses his arms like, I must go.
I must go now, little buddy. My planet needs me. Wait, this is our planet. Oh, jeez.
I just looked at the, that's your plan. Oh, the things that you learned in school, Diddy. Anyway, it just runs.
I mean, why do you think when I go bald, I still have that cone shape on my head?
I don't like thinking about that. I hate whenever they. I understand it was for I understand it was for limitations, but anywho.
Also, I really actually I do like this. If you actually get taken out as Diddy, he gets hurt, then he falls.
Oh, gee.
Like say whatever you will about like. That's honestly one thing I will definitely take from this over the original Donkey Kong Country trilogy. They got a little more personalized, or at least this game got a little more personalized with how you die.
I mean, and I guess that's the other thing I'm noticing. It also is neat to see that they, again, when I was referencing, like, you know, oh, it's not just a direct port. Alright, nice. I also like that from what we've been seeing, they didn't just add in every one of the sprites from the Super Nintendo game, they also did some, like, unique sprites for this one as well. I've been seeing it.
Looks like we're currently at an impasse, gentlemen. We're gonna have to take the top road, which, brings back the Gangplank Galleon.
Oh.
This is a little early to be tackling things on the high seas. Okay, so I guess... when did this game come out? Was this like was this after 2 or just before 2?
In between 1 and 2.
Okay.
Like it was pretty much a project for Rare's B team to tackle, while as a team were more or less finishing development of the first game of the first Donkey Kong Country, and then starting on Diddy's Conquest.
Because I will say this is already kind of prophetic in a way to see these, like, you know, these rigging stages when this would not become a big staple until the second game.
Yeah. So, actually, while we're climbing up these here gangplanks, that, you know, as far as I'm concerned, still belong to K. Rool.
Yes.
That whole dumb skit I did earlier is very much in tune to this game's whatever you want to constitute as a story, because the game will never tell you any of it, but the instruction booklet pretty much claims that, and I'm paraphrasing here, but basically what's going on is that Cranky Kong is insanely jealous of DK, and his whole, or not so much, maybe it's not so much, well, let's just say that Cranky's not too keen about how DK got so smug over his success on the Super Nintendo, and, you know, how his game got so much praise for being such a revolutionary title.
It's like,
so you
think you're such hot stuff? How would you like it if you... Well, I bet you wouldn't be able to be such hot stuff if you had a lot more limitations.
But
exactly.
But the fact that it went to his ego so much that he would, like, in the dead of night, cohort with the villain and say,
Hey, Carol, listen, I know you always wanted to starve out my grandson. Be honest, never really cared much for the land myself. How about we strike a deal here?
And they just...
I mean, honestly, it's really funny, because if you think about it, in the show, they did establish that Cranky and K. Rool actually used to be friends.
Oh, I forgot about that little part of it.
Whoop. You know, things weren't exactly the same when K. Rool tried to give me the atomic wedgie. Joke's on him, I don't even wear pants.
Why else do you think we cherish that umbrella? I used it to beat him over the head with it.
Oh, that is fair.
That's
let me
actually
see.
true, but I do know that, like, the whole thing with the umbrella is that, like, apparently when they were younger, they didn't really have, like, a whole lot to their name. Like, the umbrella was, like, one of the few things that they owned. It was like,
It's symbolic.
Aw, well, that's very nice that he would hold on to it for sentiment.
Nuts.
now, Cruel saying that the umbrella was worth more than his army, that's a little hyperbole, but I thought it was funny.
Well, just the fact that he said it to their faces. That's what would it be? Yes, twice over. Why? Anywho, so yeah, so anyway, Donkey Kong Game Boy was a handheld sequel. That's right, it came with the quote-unquote banana yellow Game Boy cartridge.
Oh yeah, they were very, very proud of that particular marketing.
Well, I mean, like, how often...
I missed that. I want Nintendo Switch. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, like, I don't blame them. Like, how often do you really get to see, like, cartridges in, like,
Oh, yeah,
colors
especially-
other than gray?
Let's see how well this works with 2 buttons. Huh?
Oh shit! Shit!
Answer, not that good.
Oh, that was bad.
I mean, you'll be fine. We got a special item from that, and B, we just gotta
Save
do it.
states.
We just gotta do it. Save state, and we just gotta do that in the next stage. And so I assume you can only use that once per intersection. Can we just bomb anything now? Oh, I see. Only once per.
Only one time.
Okay.
Which you know is an incentive to do this again.
Oh, we'll be right back.
Man. I'm surprised that's not some kind of meme where someone tries to, like, substitute the with a different sound.
Well, we did that with the Wario. Remember?
Oh! Yeah.
Good stuff.
That was
Careful.
fun.
There's a gopher.
Oop!
There's
There's
you can
also
fall,
a Contra down there.
You can fall in bottomless pits and you just go. That's new. Curse you, Game Boy limitations.
Yeah. I thought we were friends.
I'm sorry, but when did we ever say we were friends, Mr. Man?
Oh jeez. I'm
Oh,
just
boy.
saying. I want this song to be on Trombone Hero.
Fucking trombone.
I've been seeing that go around a few cases. I've been seeing that go around, and apparently that game's actually kind of decent. My favorite current cover
It's
is
beautiful. It's beautiful for all the wrong reasons.
my favorite
Oh.
part of it is that you can do custom animations and things put into that game. So for One Winged Angel, they actually put in a whole new music video where the lead trombonist has a trombone whose arm is like 6 feet long, like the sword of like freaking Sephiroth's
The
sword.
Moon Age. Jesus.
And it's just this mess. Oh, it's great.
And, like, embedded on the guy's arm is just a lifeless Aerith.
Well, at one point he almost felt. Okay, here we go. Well,
Try that again.
Can you make it back, though?
I believe so. Hey!
Also, should be worth mentioning that Rambi and Express are the only 2 animal buddies in Donkey Kong Land.
Is there any swimming in this game?
Well, we saw a bit of it.
A good handful of swimming is done in the second world in the game.
Okay. And there you go.
Just, yeah, no, I can understand there were limitations involved, but I mean, that's still kind of a bum move that only 2 of the animal buddies were able to return for the sake of this game.
Yeah.
Agreed. But now we're back. So, yeah, the thing I was thinking about with the, the thing I was thinking about with the,
What's this?
Woo.
Oh, hey.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Oh, here's that bonus game I was talking about.
Oh, alright, let's see.
Oh.
Oh.
You
Oh.
got one up?
Oh, that's
Oh.
actually... Oh.
Oops.
Okay, I thought it would have a falling arc to it, but... Oh. This is actually pretty broken, though, actually, depending on how many coins you have. Oh.
Yeah, but don't get too cozy with this, because not every level has this bonus game.
But now we
All
know we
them
can always
parts.
just... is there... Oh,
Oh,
Oh well. I mean, look how many lives I have. I think we're well cozy.
yeah. But I was gonna say, now... Because actually, I guess that does bring up a quick couple of points before we get back to other things. Was there... Are you able to travel back and forth between worlds, or do you need, like, a special service a la Funky Kong in the first Donkey Kong Country?
No, you can pretty much travel through all the worlds as you please.
Okay, because yeah, I'm thinking that...
Actually, speaking of Funky, none of the other Kongs show up. Not even Cranky Kong, despite the fact he's literally the highlight of the instruction booklet.
He's the villain!
I mean, yeah, no, like, if we're, like, it's funny thinking about it, like, if you just play this game by itself, there's really not much to it aside from, you know, the usual DK pop and bop sort of adventure. You still gotta take out Rule by the end of it, etc., etc.,
Hey, you got
etc. But it's like, it's the instruction booklet that gives all the story this game has to offer.
I just love the idea that Cranky Kong's gotten wise. You know, he is the video game master, and he's just looking at this like, I've seen one too many adventures to know exactly what to do here. If I'm the villain, all I have to do is not appear in the game, and you can never stop me.
Exactly! It'll have been a perfect victory! Well,
So that's exactly-
okay, maybe not, because technically I was the one that, you know, go to DK to this whole deal.
Well, I mean, depends on how
Oh,
much
boy.
you really liked it. But anyway,
Seriously though, Cranky, what the heck?
of all the things, like, I feed you, oh wait, we need to get that in, that's still in that bonus. Where's that going with this?
So something about DK feeding Cranky?
Yes, it's like I fed you, I cleaned you, I wrapped you up in a warm blanket during the winter, the harsh winter that the Kong Islands face.
Jesus, now you're making me think if Cranky was really that so far gone from his former glory that he's literally got to be baby like he's in a retirement home.
No, that's Kitty. We don't talk about Kitty anymore. Which I guess on that note, James, are we? There's gotta be something for those shapes. I swear. James, are we planning on doing the whole Land trilogy?
Probably not, because DK Land is really the only one that tries to be very, you know, radically different from its console counterpart. Land 2 and Land 3 are pretty much bona fide recreations of the DKCs 2 and 3.
Okay.
Level design is different to a degree, but they still keep to the same tropes and story beats.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, they can't all be little gems.
Although I know for the sake of Land 2, they more or less meshed together Crocodile Cauldron and Kremlantis.
Okay, I guess that makes sense after that. Oh yeah, how many worlds are there in this one?
Only 4.
Okay, because I remember. Okay, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, are there as many worlds as there were in Mario vs. Donkey Kong? Because that kind of went insane after a while.
Well, to be fair, those levels are those levels are very much bite-sized to a point where it wouldn't take that long to go through. And I would still like to do Mario vs. Donkey Kong again at some point or other.
Yeah.
But in the meanwhile, I mean, since it's just the 3 of us.
Oh,
Oops.
nuts! You were close. All right, back into the donut we go.
Donut!
That's what they look like to me. They're like donuts.
Oh, brother.
That's it. It's okay. Oh my gosh!
That beaver really did not know what was coming.
I am still anticipating and/or anxious as for two things. One, how Donkey Kong is going to look in the Mario movie, and two, what their involvement is going to be.
Well, I do know that apparently there was... McDonald's really is just like a big movie leak nowadays. Apparently there was like some leaked McDonald's toys that give us a hint of what he looks like in the movie.
Which looks like it's... That is a tight jump. Is it possible for you to slide down the rope right into the barrel, or will it do some weird finagling to will it try to move your sprite past it before you can actually make the jump? Nice.
Nope.
We could try that.
Yeah, we could try that instead.
Oh, okay. That is true. And
But yeah, no, the whole thing with McDonald's, yeah, no, basically they leaked out a couple things that are very telling of what to expect from the movie.
Including Peach's design.
Peach design. Well, Peach design. We knew that from the. I guess it was a McDonald's poster, right? And
Oh
apparently,
yeah, no, McDonald's spoiled a lot. Even before that trailer came out.
and then even after the trailer came out, and apparently at Comic-Con there was a. Another poster that corroborated the design of Peach.
Oh, hey, we're back here again.
Okay, well, why not? Let's top off, because I assume we can actually max this thing out if we're lucky enough. Nice. Is that then? I will not say what it is yet, because who knows if it's fully A, correct, and B, there's still plenty of things to... What happens now? Oh,
We'll go even further beyond, I guess.
if this game explodes, I'm gonna laugh. Like this song.
Well, I did get a couple extra, at least 1 or 2 extra, so that'll be interesting to see.
And I mean, I'll give them credit that they're doing that. It's a pretty out of the way spot, to keep the HUD where it doesn't get in the way of the gameplay.
I mean, actually, it's one of those. This is one of those things I didn't really realize until years later. But the HUD for the live system and everything was just taken straight from Battletoads.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the hearts look the same. Honestly, the HUD in general more or less looks the same.
Ah, alright then.
Which, I mean, I'm not terribly surprised they pretty much reused that same engine to make Donkey Kong Land.
I mean, if it's pulling it off.
Considering there was already, like, what, at least 2 or 3 Battletoads games on the system?
I don't. Should we ever look at any of those?
Technically, we did already.
Wait, why'd we go past that? Was that the end portal?
There's more!
More! Wait.
Well, okay, now, like, there's no special, like, exits to really worry about in this game. Like, they all lead to the exact same, path. It's just that, sometimes you can go past the initial one to get into extra bonuses.
Okay, well, okay, that's a fair enough way to introduce us to that. Onwards with the flying pigs. You get a better look at them on the box art, but it's still weird.
Oh, dude, like, the pigs in general are, like, the epitome of Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we may have missed the letter back here.
Never hurts to check.
With the lone seagull frozen in fear in the distance. Oh, jeez.
Yeah?
Careful!
Ow! Dang it, Claptrap. Actually, funny coincidence that you got me there, as I noticed the DK barrel over here. It's almost like he never left.
Thank you. I guess really was it. Alright, well, fair enough. So,
yeah, I guess, sometimes you can never be too careful.
Well, I mean, yeah, and especially when those are like your only way of saving. I don't want to be, screwed out of them.
Yeah, we were worried for nothing.
We remember how Rare has been a little cheeky in the past with these things. But anyway, Hype, did you ever play Donkey Kong Land?
I cannot say I have, to be honest. Mainly just because, I'm not gonna lie, my Game Boy and Game Boy Color library was kind of pathetic, because I think that the only games I really owned for it, to my recollection anyway, the only games I ever really owned for it was the Game Boy port of DuckTales and Bugs Bunny Carrot Crazy.
Okay.
Gotcha. I mean, honestly, that's not too dissimilar to, like, when I initially owned a Game Boy Color. Like, I only ever owned, like, 2 games for that sucker. Pokemon Gold version and Speedy Gonzalez's Aztec Adventure.
Really? You didn't even have any of the Wario Land games?
Nope. I was only able to play those. Well, I was only ever able to really play those via rentals.
Okay.
That, along with the Game & Watch Gallery games, an earlier one of the earlier Pokemon versions, and a Super Mario Brothers Deluxe.
Okay.
Although once I got myself a Game Boy Advance, I mean, that's when I pretty much.
That's where your handheld library really started taking off.
Exactly.
I mean, that's fair. Advance.
Like not even just with the Game Boy Advance's own titles, but also like a whole bunch of secondhand Game Boy or Game Boy Color games that GameStop were holding up on their kiosks.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they did have those things.
Actually, not even just GameStop, but also Game Crazy as well. And that's actually especially relevant because that's how I initially was introduced to Donkey Kong Land.
Really? Okay.
There was one that was not too far from where I currently live, but basically it was there where I was able to find Donkey Kong Land, and not too long after, I was also able to get the third Donkey Kong Land as well. Donkey Kong Land 2 I wouldn't get till later, and that's why I kind of have a bit of a weird nostalgia. My nostalgia for that game is a little unbalanced.
Okay, I was just gonna say, I feel like this is definitely this is the one that is the one that holds more sentimental. Oh.
This and the third game, yeah.
Oh, no.
Honestly, it's not too dissimilar to how I was experienced to the Spyro trilogy.
That's also fair. For me, my folks had access to this game because, oh no.
Worth it!
Oh. Oh.
Oh yeah, this is also the level where they bring in the occasional slippas that slip straight down from the ropes, and those guys can go eat my,
Banana?
Eat my quarters.
Eat your quarters. Oh, yeah, because they're freaking, they have such a small window of, hey, we're here now. And it's like, oh, jeez.
Hey!
Okay, well, doing alright.
Actually, for reference sake, do not feed snakes quarters. They cannot, their digestion cannot handle that.
They will not. We are legally.
I mean,
required.
who could realistically, ingest a quarter and not suffer, ramifications from it?
I did
monster?
once. That too, I meant that
it always
too.
comes back to the goddamn bog monster.
No, I said rock monster.
Oh, rock monster.
Well,
okay.
I mean,
I thought I heard you say.
Oh my
well,
gosh! What is a Kong to do?
I was about to say, I mean, you got a point, James. They never established what they eat. They could eat quarters for all we know.
I mean, it's pretty obvious they have a very keen liking towards crocodile leather.
I think I've already mentioned this, but I always remembered having... I think we already mentioned this, but I remembered enjoying, this one, like, piggy bank that a friend of mine had where it was Iron Giant themed.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was basically the scene...
What's up here, actually?
Easy does it.
Oh, nothing!
Oh.
Yeah, those little discs on top of these, on top of the ropes are pretty much a sign that you can't exactly jump up there. You gotta go straight down, buddy.
Wait a minute. That seagull's stuck in place over there. You see?
Yeah, he's literally part of the background, like Logan said earlier.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention to that.
Frozen with fear.
I will admit I did zone out a little bit checking on an update on something.
You're all good.
Actually, it's, oh, I don't know. Do I really want to tempt fate now? Okay, no, it's just more discs. Damn it.
But yeah, it was the, Just careful. Yeah, it was themed after the bit. It was apparently themed after the bit, like when they're in the junkyard and the Iron Giant, like, mistakes the art for junk.
That in your mouth is art!
Dean's great.
Yes, he
I forgot who
is.
voices him.
Dean's a mood.
Hang
So
on, I
great.
will look that up for you, good sir.
Okay, because yeah, he's great, but, alright, this part can absolutely suck on 3 bananas. Okay, I imagine if we stay up top, that'll be the safest spot for us. Oh no, we gotta go down now.
Hang on.
One thing this game's not terribly consistent about is if falling down towards a pit will mean immediate death entirely, or if it's just the death of one Kong, so you can swap in for another.
Oh, that can actually happen, where you can fall down a pit and they'll keep it going?
Yes, I'm
Ah.
pretty sure that's a bug.
Yeah, that doesn't sound... Yeah, it sounds like they all should be bottomless pits, still. Okay. Oh, okay, bonus time. Yay, happy times. Okay, I thought we were like... This whole time, like... They dropped a snake on us from sky, from terminal velocity. Hey, checkpoint.
Happy thoughts!
Okay, now I'm good.
False alarm. Anyway, let me pull up that website.
No, okay, you're good. But, just basically, so it was themed around that scene, where instead you put a quarter inside the Iron Giant's mouth, and then it would just drop it in, and then, eats it, and then you're good. And... Yes!
Okay.
Alright, we're good-ish!
Okay, so let's...
That is...
See what I mean? Right there.
Yeah, well, you Oh, yes, you're saying. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I agree.
it's a-
That is BS, and go ahead.
To answer your question, Dean McCuppin is voiced by one Harry Connick Jr.
Huh.
That name does not ring a bell.
Yeah, I
let
need
me
to
see
look
what
it
else
up.
he's done. Let me see. As far as like voiceover roles go, that's the only other significant thing I could see him from.
Ah, okay, so it was like, either maybe it was like a one-time gig, or maybe he's not so much a VO, but more so something else.
Yeah, I imagine he's
Yeah.
probably more of a live actor than a voice actor. Because I know
That could
movie,
be it.
Because I know that movie definitely had its fair share of like screen actors doing voice work. Like it had Jennifer Aniston as the mom, and you know, lest we forget Vin Diesel.
Yeah, never forget.
Yeah. Alright. Doing alright. We're almost, we're getting through this.
You may be wondering how going through the ship there led to straight out here.
Yeah, I'll be honest, this last leg of the world, I genuinely thought we were gonna do the other direction.
Yeah, me too.
Oh.
Anyway,
Okay.
onward to the jungle again, and I think this might be the last time we'll be coming here.
Aw. Wait, it's like between all the other worlds, this is the last time we're actually in the jungle, like, of Donkey Kong Land?
Unless... I want to say unless it's for a bonus game, yes.
Oh.
Good thing they still kept this.
Props to them. I didn't think they would have actually remembered that or bothered with that. And of course, they got the frickin' vultures up there still.
Yeah, the neckies that just stay perched on one spot and start throwing their nuts everywhere.
Why is it with them with their nuts every time? Whoop.
It's just really disturbing. Like they need to know that people are not comfortable with this.
Right. No, so they're gonna get canceled if they're not careful one day. Anyway, so the way I remember,
People are gonna start calling them buzzards.
and no one wants that. But yeah, no. So the way I remember learning about this game was, so my mom is a huge fan of Donkey Kong Country. That's how I came to own the game initially with our Super Nintendo. So I believe, like, at the time, like when the Game Boy came out, like,
Oh wow, I've actually been playing this a lot more often than I thought I would.
well, it's time to get loaded with. It's time to get loaded with. 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 Time to get loaded with lives.
With lives.
Maybe I won't have to worry about getting a game over anytime
with
soon.
lives.
That is, unless of course I decide to reset my game.
Oh, does it not save any? That is BS. Like
No, it doesn't save any of this.
You have a save system in the game already, Rare. Why not just keep the number of lives as a value that gets saved? It can't take up
Because
that
funny.
many kilobytes. You say because funny?
Well, I don't hear you. Come on, come with a better answer.
Okay.
Huh. You know, I usually expect to go through a bonus room with those caves.
That was the most like basic, like, here's a cave. You made a cave. Congratulations, you dug it.
Yeah, get your shit and get out.
Donkey Kong Land, sponsored by the Disney's classic movie Holes.
Digging up them holes.
Donkey Kong Country, co-starring Shia LaBeouf as Diddy Kong.
I would watch that.
Now, would
I
this,
would watch
would this
that.
be in the same universe as the hypothetical Donkey Kong movie with Seth Rogen?
I mean,
Well,
why
I guess
not?
we're gonna hopefully get that. I mean, I guess okay. How about that? You raise a good point now, Hype, that I'm going to continue on and force you to be involved with because you've done it.
You make it sound like I have objections to it.
Okay, so if with the Sonic movie we're getting a Knuckles side series, spin-off series, which of the characters in the Mario movie with their voice actors intact are you most interested in seeing a spin-off series with?
Well, I know a lot of people say Luigi's Mansion because of Charlie Day, but like I mentioned before, I'd be interested to see how they would like expand on the Donkey Kong lore in this universe.
Especially
Heck, why not go somewhere that the games usually don't? Give us a Bowser spin-off.
that would actually be fun. I was actually part of me was
Also, clever, Rare.
part of me was actually genuinely thinking of what if they did something wacky or wild and had freaking Keegan-Michael Key work overtime and do a Toad series.
Captain Toad series?
Or Captain Toad series, yeah. Where he's
Actually,
like, whoa! Where the whole series follows him exploring more, because that's my biggest like compliment for the trailer so far is I love the environment visuals so far. Like, just show me more wacky Mushroom Kingdom, world locales with Captain Toad exploring them all.
Question. I doubt this is going to be the case, but say the Mario movie actually does well. Do you think its success may or may not affect how the games might eventually look?
I 100% don't believe that's ever gonna. I don't believe they're gonna.
It depends, because let's be real here. Nintendo does have a strong hand on how the Mario movie's being handled.
That is.
So for all I know, maybe it could, maybe it won't. Odds are good it won't, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's some influences that might reek over into the games.
Like, I'm not
Hopefully
expecting...
hopefully not as dangerous to a degree as how it has with Resident Evil 4, with Resident Evil, but we'll see.
Well, my thing is that, I'm not saying like excessive changes, like for example, like change the designs to look like the movie, or like replace Barney with a Pratt sound-alike. I'm just talking about like the way the worlds look in the movie. Do you expect that to be carried over to the games if the movie does well?
That I would like I'm being honest with you, like, I would love a Mario Odyssey game in those kind of worlds, like, with that much detail and stuff everywhere.
Wait until we get a Nintendo console that's pretty much on prime with PS5, power.
See, that's another thing that part of me is, like, real. I don't know how far or how legally far they're able to go with these, with these
I gotta stop doing that.
It's okay. But, it is something where I'm, like, that's something that, like, I'm very
Nice.
It's something that I'm very curious about if that can happen with this, like, collab, or with with this slightly bettering of relations that Nintendo's been having with other companies, like, say, with Ubi, which, again, like, that, comparing this to, like, 15 years ago, I'm still very... I'm very curious about seeing this, because, like, before, Nintendo typically used to keep to themselves, usually. But now, especially with American or, non-Japanese companies.
The Philips CDI scarred them something fierce.
Right, and but I mean, between the Mario Rabbids, between their bringing back a Banjo and Smash, things like that, like, anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I don't know how far they can go with, you're just like, screw the bananas, just get me out of there, is because of the, hang on, it's a silence to focus time up ahead, here we go.
Yay, I knew being a little early would have helped me in the long run.
Not out of the woods yet, though.
Yeah, because there's still the rest of it.
Hang on.
Oh.
That was a very delayed roll jump, but I'm glad they kept that in. And okay, now I can.
Bless the sacred roll jump.
Okay, so yeah, the thing I was saying was, do you think that they could actually collab with studios and companies to such a point that, say they would be comfortable with having Microsoft collab with them on, hey, give us some hardware tips for the next big console?
Well, before we say any more, we interrupt that interesting thought to bring you a manta ray.
That is indeed a manta ray. Oh, was a manta ray.
And
wait,
another
no.
manta ray. And another.
This is the boss, by the way.
Huh.
No, I have no idea why there's only a flying manta ray on the Gangplank Galleon.
Or why it has such a grudge against ape kind that, or don't.
I used to, when I was younger, I used to think that this was some sort of weird kite with the same type of embroidery on the Diddy shirt.
It always looks slimy to me, like a weird like UFO alien. But
Yep. So that all said, ladies and gentlemen, after beating the boss, well, okay, just to prove my point, yes, you can go back to the first world if you want to. Say if you want to get those other bonus levels you missed,
Good.
nothing really matters. Mm-hmm. So now we are in Kremlantis.
wow,
Underwater.
I'm okay with this. All right, I'm.
Cranky? I don't remember ever going to any Kremlantis in my old game. That's the point, sonny. This is the stuff you would never get to see in flashy 16 bits.
Told you it'd be better, and for good measure, as all Donkey Kong lore enthusiasts should know, we still haven't gotten those oxygen lessons yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can still breathe as long as they want to underwater.
Hooray! Oh, careful.
But anyway, now we return to your regularly scheduled point regarding whatever it is you were saying earlier.
I was saying that. Okay, so you have an Xbox. You have an Xbox, James. And,
I have an Xbox Series S, yes.
And like the hardware in that's pretty darn good, I think, especially with the replay and all the fun we have.
For what I need, yeah, I'd say it more or less does the job fine.
So I'm just thinking, like, I wonder if Nintendo would allow themselves, as part of this whole collab that they've been doing, like, or at the very least, the bettering of relations between them and other companies like Microsoft, would they be willing to, like, allow them to be like, hey, would you mind, like, what are some tips, or, like, hey, like, could we collab and, you know, profit and, like, make a Nintendo console with similar hardware or with, like, some fidelities compared to that of an Xbox, or do you think that would still kind of like they'd be like, hey, no, competition and stuff first?
I mean, hard to say, really. I mean, Nintendo's got their own way of doing things, and I'm not gonna like in terms of the games that they sell. That's all fine and good. The only thing they really need to worry about is just figuring out how to maybe max themselves a little better with especially now that the PS5 and Xbox Series S was a thing. Because remember that the Switch was made to more or less make it easier for people who normally developed for like PS4 or Xbox One.
Oh, that's true.
So it's about high time we got some sort of successor at some point or other.
Fair enough. Done.
But whenever that happens, I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, with how successful the Switch has been these past couple of years, even now, I don't think that's going to sway them to be in such a hurry for, making their next big successor.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd say Switch has at least another 3 or 4 years under its belt before it's ready to get a new one.
Depends on if they do a Switch Pro. I feel like that could extend it about another. What the hell is that thing?
I think that's supposed to be a flying clam, or just a swimming clam.
And does it damage us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Anything that's colored similarly to me, besides the bananas and the barrels, do hurt.
Okay. Oh
So
no!
be mindful.
Bano.
Yes, but here we are with an example of one of the original level tropes this game has to offer. Besides a more fully realized gameplay Galleon, this is the submerged temple of Kremlantis.
I actually am, especially because they already had a ruin, tile set and stuff. I'm surprised they never tried.
Oh boy.
Surprised they never tried this in Country 1 or any of the Country games for that matter.
Yep, and I'll definitely give them kudos for one thing. Whoever they got to help David Wise, compliment David Wise's soundtrack and porting them over to the Game Boy, did a pretty damn good job with this one. I forget the dude's name, but he deserves his kudos.
I shall look him up.
Is it all taken from the game, or are there any original tracks?
This is an original track.
Okay, so we already know David Wise. It has to be mentioned because we heard Jungle Japes, Gangplank, Galleon. The other person I have here is, I'm hoping I'm
Oh,
pronouncing
boy.
this correct. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this correctly. Graham Norgate.
Yep, that sounds about right.
He,
Fun fact, that dude, I want to say, was the composer for another Rareware game called Blast Corps. And I want to say
Oh, yeah.
the boss theme of Donkey Kong Land was reused later for Blast Corps.
Oh, yeah, the N64 one. Huh, I didn't know that. Let's see what else he does here. He apparently worked with Robin Beanland to make the Super Nintendo and Game Boy versions of Killer Instinct.
Oh, nice.
He worked with Grant. He
Hang
worked
on,
with
I'll
Grant.
be right back.
No worries.
Alrighty.
He worked alongside Grant Kirkhope and Beanland on GoldenEye soundtrack. Worked on. He actually. So I'm okay. So it's. Oh, okay. So he was the lead for the Time Splitters soundtrack. Time Splitters 1 and 2.
So he did do stuff outside of Rare.
Yeah, looks like it. And then as far as like Rare, I can't find anyone that apart from Blast Core, it's hard to find any that he like.
Snapper.
There's a lot of those things, and I feel like this is going to be the part where it gets a little annoying because it looks like they want you to be very patient with them.
Yeah.
I don't want to be patient.
So that being said, as far as underwater dwellers, these aren't even the most annoying things you'll come across.
Oh no. Oh, did they bring back the octopus spinners?
Actually, no, they didn't bring back the croctopuses.
Oh, okay.
They actually bring in the alternative that is a little more hands-on, for lack of a better word.
Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, it's right here. We gotta now start. Oh. So let's see. So it looks like with Rare, he mainly would help collab with other people. So like so technically this Norgate has had his hands involved with Jet Force Gemini, Diddy Kong Racing, Perfect Dark. But he would usually be helping, the other guys. Let's see. He was an audio director for the Crysis first-person shooter game. Okay.
Really? As in that whole game, that whole thing that literally became a meme of being too powerful for modern PCs.
Yeah, that where your PC would sound like it was like a jet engine. Yep, that's it. That's Crysis.
Well, that's a hell of a legacy behind him.
Let's see what else
For better or worse.
So yeah, it looks like he was the audio director for all of the Crysis games, all 3 of them. He worked on a puzzle game I do enjoy called Cube, Qube. He let's see. He did have a hand in doing the music for the 2013 Killer Instinct game.
It's like he came back home.
Yay.
For a brief bit, anyway.
For a brief bit. And then he worked on Rise, Son of Rome, that weird Xbox game. He worked on Carnival Blast. Tamarin was the last. Tamarin, whatever that game is, seems to be the last project he was like really a part of. But I mean, yeah, okay. The dude has some solid.
Oh.
What?
I guess I didn't get all the Kong letters there. Whoops.
Well, we just gotta play it safe.
Yeah, especially this level because it's the typical aquatic ambience sort of level, and I'm not gonna mince words. Some of these levels are a little on the long side in DK Land.
Well, right away I'm seeing here is There's actually not a bad arrangement of aquatic ambience.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good. Though I do think it's kind of funny that they start a little later into the melody as opposed to with that whole opening riff.
That's true.
Or not riff, but that whole thing.
The hook, right, I get you. But I will say, again, props to Game Boy for making this all run smoothly, but 2 things I'm already seeing that are a problem is A, how fast everything moves with how tight these gaps are between enemies. Oh no. And
not helped by the the screen crunch this game has.
Yep. And also the fact that I noticed they did that they started doing that dumb thing again that I did not care for in games like Donkey Kong Country 2, and I think even 1 did it to be fair, is I never liked it when a secret is so obtuse where it's like, oh, this part of the wall, which looks identical to every other wall, just happens to be a wall that you can just, it's transparent, you can go through it.
Yeah, I'm not too big a fan of that either. Also, crap, I missed the K here, so may as well book it at this point.
Just got it. Okay.
Sorry about that. Had to move some things for the folks.
It's all good. We're
No worries.
still swimming.
We do.
We're still swimming with the fishes.
I can see that.
Still.
I don't think it's with this level we'll come across that really annoying prick that they introduced for DK Land's sake, though. I mean, there's also these weird big-headed fishes.
Big Berthas, I'll call them, or Bessie, or Big Bess, whatever they're called.
Big Bessie, Big Bertha. Oh, ouch.
Okay, it's okay. Yeah.
Big Bessie because Big Bertha was busy down in Waterland, I guess.
There we go.
That and, to be fair, Big Boss, what was his name? Boss Bass?
I think it's Boss Bass, the one from 64.
No, from, it was also, he was pretty much Big Bertha's counterpart, the ones that actually do try to eat you.
I forgot his
All
name.
Big Bertha does is just swim around, sometimes let her child out to breathe.
Yeah, oh, right, that thing that then just, it was just, oh, I remember that.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that enemy was so weird.
I can imagine Big Bertha in the context of that whole game literally being that overprotective mom who just briefly lets their kid out to see the open world, then closes it back up to Sanctuary.
Also, because the idea was like, okay, alright, you had your fun, alright, back in.
Exactly. Oof!
Oh, please, no!
Yeah, I didn't have Diddy on me.
Yes, he does it. Are we gonna try and beat this whole game in one session today?
I think I have enough in me for at least the first two worlds. We can tackle the other two later.
That's fair, that's fair.
I mean, we're already almost an hour in, so I'd say that's only fair.
I think that's fair too. I just also don't want to like push you, even though I know that by nature these games are designed to, even though these games are by nature of the handheld and its limited battery supply, designed to not last too long, I still want to make sure that you're not feeling too...
I'll be fine. Again, once I'm done with this world, I'll more or less be set.
Yeah, I'm still not a big fan of these swimming controls. It was not until... I think I already mentioned it, but it wasn't until the likes of Tropical Freeze that I was really like, oh gee, that I was really like on board with the swimming controls.
Damn straight, Sonny!
That's what you're in for now! And there it is.
Sanctuary! But we can't save our game. Oh well.
Oh boy.
Well,
Okay.
I need a bomb.
Oh no.
Actually, there's two places we can get a bomb here. Also, I just love how, like, nonchalantly, like, on the map, there's a big honkin' clan to the right of us.
That's gonna be the boss, isn't it?
I mean, it looks big enough to be a boss, but I don't believe it is, no.
Huh.
Let's see.
All things considered, the bosses in this game are kind of pathetic.
Let's see.
And that's saying a lot considering the original Donkey Kong Country primarily settled on just giant versions of regular enemies.
That's fair. Also, that little bouncy tornado we just passed.
Ooh, ouch. I think Monkey Kong's oh no, it's just a oh god, it's a sentient jar. Run!
Easy does it.
Get rid of it!
You'll never take me alive. I don't want to go back in the jar, Bobby!
It's scary and musty.
You're gonna go in the jar and you're gonna like it. Why do you sound like that, Mommy? Your voice is so deep.
Edward, how many times have I told you to be nice to your baby sister?
The sad twist of it all is that DK never knew his mom, and Cranky had to fill in for both positions.
Oh, that makes me
It
feel
was
kinda
very
cheap.
awkward for many reasons that I'd rather not discuss in public.
I have a
Well, actually, what am I saying? Well, wait, what am I saying? Wrinkly Kong is a thing.
tragic backstory. That's why I'm the villain. Oh.
Actually, that would be kind of sad if Wrinkly Kong was always the spirit, not just something that's a case where she outright died in between games and became a spirit to help you find all the golden bananas.
Just a little bit. I love that. What did you?
Again, it's amazing that the Game Boy provided that of all things, and that's like one of the biggest claims to fame is that when Diddy falls, he falls hard.
And when DK falls, he just evaporates.
He literally just goes into a swirly and then disappears.
Yep. Easy does it. Okay. Oh. I mean, like these. I got you, Donkey Kong.
I got you, buddy.
I mean, I will give him credit. Like, okay, so I have to put this. Like, I know it's supposed to be underwater ruins and all, but I definitely can recognize this as just the ruins levels from the first game again.
Oh yeah, no, these are wholesale the ruins from the original game, just with a much better sound, a much better song.
This is nice. And this is original, I believe, as well. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Oh.
original. They did reuse it for Donkey Kong Country's version of those type of levels, too.
Oops.
It's okay. I agree that is still rough. That's just.
I guess I should have said this earlier, but the controls aren't quite as smooth as they are in the actual console games.
Yeah, I remember that was a big
Yeah.
point of contention in Johnny's review of it.
Right. I will admit that was part of the reason why I was suddenly in the mood to replay these games, since I did have a pretty big childhood with them. And,
fair.
I mean, actually, for the first time in, like, ever, I actually went and beat this game, like, about a few weeks ago.
Oh,
Ah.
props to you.
Because I never had much of... Despite the fact I played this game since I was, like, a young teen, like, I never had the patience to fully beat it. Like, I got as far as, like, maybe the third world, and then I kind of just stopped.
It's totally. It's totally understandable to just lose interest and like start, looking at something else. It's like it's just different things just happening.
In some regards, Sparks of Hope kind of put Logan through that same pace.
I still need to get back to that. In between that, I gotta get back to Potionomics. I gotta get back. I decided I'm gonna pass on doing more of Card Shark for right now. I realize I'm kind of just on its plot, but
That's
I
fair.
am still. But I know that I still need to get around to doing. I know I need to get around to still finishing Cult of the Lamb.
Oh. Please tell me past the checkpoint.
We did not.
Oh, we did, but that was, like, a little further back.
Right, my bad.
Yeah, so we got a little ways again, but hey, we're getting there. But oh whoa, on my end, it didn't even look like you started a spin. It just looked like it just
phased through the whole thing and literally let it die.
It just looked like Diddy's like baseball cap was all that was needed to bonk that snake that landed on his head. Anyway,
So what you're telling me is that Diddy is the real what am I trying to say here? He was the one that had Cappy all along.
yeah. I mean, let us not forget that baseball cap, that baseball cap wearing chimp managed to take out the moon.
Yeah, he totally did.
Oh,
Well, I
we
mean,
were this
DK did
close.
too, but there we go.
By the way, you're not too angry I borrowed your hat that one time, right, Didi?
What?
That is also the joke. That is also the joke that, as we recall seeing, if you use the Diddy Kong amiibo and put that costume on Mario, he genuinely kind of looks like a cute little like monkey platformer jumping around and all
Yeah.
no sushis.
Yeah, literally from the back, you'd almost think you were playing as Diddy.
Oh boy.
And there goes Diddy.
I ascend. Sorry, I put the
And then I have...
Oops.
oh.
It was very short-lived.
I'm pretty sure those type of... that kind of fish isn't supposed to be exactly dangerous, but
It
the
shouldn't
game
be.
assumes so.
I just loved the tone of like, he was like, I ascend and now I'm here to and that was all he said.
Never mind!
as you were.
I jumped the gun there, my bad.
But yeah, no, it's Cult of the Lamb. It's this. It's
Okay, I've already gone through a few levels missing all those Kong letters. I really need to get the full set now.
Yeah, we need a save. So K. Oh my gosh.
I mean, again, there's always save states.
Yeah, but we gotta.
I mean, that is true.
Especially
but
when we wanna keep
look
our
at all
lives.
the I mean, should I just use the save state by the time we're done with the session, considering how many lives I have?
That's what I'm
I mean,
saying.
also
Probably be
why
safe. Probably be safest to do that. But for the sake of us posterity, let's make sure we get as many of these letters as we can. But I know that. So yeah, I mentioned those games. In terms of classic games, I want to revisit. I want to revisit Haunted Mansion for Halloween because I thought, hey, mate, why don't I do that as a tradition? If Mecha has Illbleed as his tradition game, he comes back to.
Yeah, why
That's
not?
fair.
And then
Honestly, I should probably do the same for the original Luigi's Mansion, considering that was pretty much my own bread and butter for years.
Yeah,
go for it.
I know I've been trying to do the same thing myself, but with the third game, and I did try to do it for the group that I'm a part of, Adrenaline Dubs. I did try to do that for one of their streams a while back, but my Discord was having a hissy fit that day and kept crashing every time I tried to share it.
Aw.
Ouch.
And then the other game that I want to try and show... Oh, you can't go underneath this one. Ooh. And then the other game I want to try and show... Wow, this level was just a freaking, like, cakewalk compared to that last one.
Yeah, seriously.
Crap, like, length and... Anyway, the other game I want to try and get in... The other game I want to try and play, just because I've been, like... It used to, like, intimidate me so much back then. I feel like, you know, I think now is as good time as any. I just want to just get into it and just commit to it. I want to try and share with you guys. I don't know. Maybe if I get...
Oh god, here he is.
What is it?
Oh my gosh, a freaking horseshoe, whatever those things are called. Those Nautilus crap things.
Yeah, and he's gonna constantly chase you for a good portion of this level.
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
And look at the way he undulates his eyes every time he tries to push for you.
And it's
I was
very
about to say,
fast.
there's also a bit of whiplash on there too.
Yeah, okay, so that's freaky. I'm glad that wasn't in the Super Nintendo version, but...
Oh.
Is he gone?
Honestly, it looks creepier in 8-bit,
Yeah,
to be
that's
honest.
well, yeah, just blame the old 8-bit horror thing. Like, your eyes can't actually focus on what shape it is, so...
Oops.
And then there's these guys. I don't think they're called clambos like in DKC1, but they're some sort of species of clam.
That and, like, especially with all these projectiles, like, I don't want to feel like I'm being rushed through these stages, but those things are just a ticket. Anyway. Alright. Oh, boy.
Oh.
Anyway, the thing I was gonna say is, maybe if I get good enough at it, maybe I would be willing to, like, try and do it for the channel at some point, but I want to try and, for you guys, do a playthrough of Maximo.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, why not?
Kind of back in that vibe and just the music and the and I will still say, like, despite it being balls hard at times, I still think that I still think that the character and level design still is cool, like what they did with that game.
Yeah.
I'm so lost now.
I was about to say, did we lose the thing?
I think we did. Okay.
Oh yeah, we did. He's not chasing us anymore.
Okay. Now is it like scripted where like he has to chase you for certain holes, or like or from what you just did there, you actually can just lose him and like he just won't be able to find you anymore?
I think it's possible to lose
We
him,
got kissed. By
but otherwise, for all I know, it could be scripted.
all right, fair enough.
Yeah, so far so good, and I still got plenty of air left.
Wait, I have hair?
I'm gonna have to. He's got plenty of air left.
Air, not hair.
I still got plenty of air left. I'm a reminder.
What do you think this is? A freaking acid bath?
Well, I was about to say, reminder. I gotta ask Cranky Kong what air is for afterwards. Oh jeez, oh jeez, oh jeez.
You don't want to know, son. You don't want to know.
Whoa.
Oh shoot!
Oh boy.
Whoa!
Take
Wouldn't it
his
be some shit if I was
words
chased by
for
two
it.
of these things at the same time?
I almost thought so, because I thought there was one right behind you that we may be getting pincered by unless we're careful. Hold enough. Sorry, Diddy.
Did I already say Diddy? Okay, yeah, I did. Oh, that was
boy.
bad.
Go
I
back
have
and
to
get
save
him
him
again.
again. Oh, lordy.
Excuse me.
Okay, so
Bye,
do a
Diddy.
good old circle move. Okay. This is like actually, like, I'm saying straight up, this is like actual survival horror in the sense of like just having to like run circles around the guy just to sort of get past him.
Jeez, and we all thought TOO Extra Large was intimidating.
Well,
Didn't we already go through this way?
No. We went
No,
through
this is a new path. Oh, jeez.
we went through it above, and I'm saying right now, TOO Extra Large looked like that. I would actually be like, I would not be able to sit comfortably in my seat.
Dude, if freaking if there was a, I don't know what I'm trying to say, like a straight up like mod or pack or whatever of Resident Evil 2 remake or 3 remake, where all the models look like old school rare CG models.
I do remember Vinny Vine's
Like the ones that, like, look at the ones at Killer Instinct and see how well those have aged.
True. I do remember Vinny Vinesauce did a run of I guess it was a repainted of sorts. Oh no.
Oh wow, I'm actually surprised he stalled for a bit.
I guess because he was. Oh, I guess because he had to turn around and face the other direction. That was like your saving grace. But anyway, Vinny Vinesauce did do a playthrough of Resident Evil 2. So it's like that. There, like stalls him out a little bit as he turns. Anyway.
Oh no.
Where'd he go?
And
oh, hello.
And for that version, they changed a couple voice lines and models. So suddenly, TOO Extra Large in the original.
Two of them.
The TOO Extra Large in the original Resident Evil 2 suddenly looked like Rem Lazar.
Rem Lazar.
It was this. Rem Lazar was from an episode. So, have you?
Oh,
man.
you serious?
Okay, just lure him right. Okay, have you ever? I've told you about Red Letter Media, right?
Yeah.
So Red Letter Media.
There you go.
Bye.
Is Red Letter Media and Best the Worst? They one of the videotapes they covered was an old children's, like, I guess it was supposed to be like some sort of like religious Bible study thing, or like they basically tried to just make their own like edutainment, like, you know, superhero who teaches you good morals. And
Bible man.
not Bible Man, but he was a guy dressed in blue, had a big blue wig or whatever, and his name was Rem Lazar. And the entire time, first of all, they were like, why is his name Rem Lazar? Like, the movie never explains why his name is Rem Lazar, but he had like he sung some wacky little songs. The kids like they had this whole fun little bit, but anyway, it just became this funny joke for Vinesauce. So somebody modded the game, the original PlayStation ROM or whatever ISO,
Oh.
to make it so that TOO Extra Large was Rem Lazar. And his theme song, and Rem Lazar's theme song would play whenever he busted in the room, breaking the helicopter.
I hope I didn't go into freaking circles.
You are, because right there is where you got the letter N. So
Yeah, that's not gonna lie. That's kind of my problem with these particular underwater stages. It looks like it's very easy to get lost in.
Well, because like everything looks the same, especially with this color palette.
I mean, better this than having everything in monochrome.
That is also true. I cannot imagine what this.
Oh wait, there we are.
That's the end of the level, though.
Just checking to make sure that's not a hole.
Oh, okay, we did have the G. Okay, it was not the end of the G. Whew. Okay.
Hopefully that'll be the last time we'll come across that. Who am I kidding?
Of course, I'm gonna do it again. But hey, ruin time. I think we're down to the last 3 levels of this area.
I believe so, yeah.
Whoa.
And yeah, the one and only other appearance that these tornadoes pop
So
off.
they are enemies. This whole time, like, given their color palette, given how you bounce off them, I just always thought these were like, stacks of tires, like the ones that you find in the ground and stuff.
Yeah, no, they just seem like they're technically an enemy, but they can also be used to. It's kind of like the Wario Land thing, where like it's technically there to help you, but also hinder you if you approach it wrong.
Oh boy.
Or also depending on the context.
Oh yeah, for the 30th anniversary of Wario, I looked up some Wario facts.
Yeah, for the 30th anniversary of Wario, Nintendo did fucking nothing.
They always forget about their best characters, Samus, Captain Falcon, and
Well, hey,
Wario.
Samus has been eating somewhat decently as of lately.
It's getting better. It's getting better.
I mean, Wario, on the other hand, well, I mean, he did get a pretty sick game on the Switch not that long ago, but still.
I know, but I want a fun Wario Land again. Anyway, I
I'm
learned.
still waiting on that, though. I'm still waiting on that indie-made Wario Land game that Nintendo might eventually greenlight.
Oh yeah, but yeah. So the
If it ever happens.
yeah.
I mean, hell, get D-pad to do it. Like, they had that really awesome mock-up and everything.
right. But yeah, there was this So there was this.
Oh.
Whoa. Woo. Sorry, I'm getting spooked as this wonderful, lovable Kong. So the
I mean, considering we're reporting this near Halloween, that is totally appropriate.
yes, the thing I hate, the thing that scares me the most, growing old as these games become dated.
Oh yeah, let's see. This game came out in 1995. That would make that how old now? Oh shit.
Oh man.
Hold on, let me see if I can maybe
Reset
do
his-
the age-old method of there you go. Ha! You'll never catch me or the Sid.
Curses! Just as I finished climbing out of that pit. Whoa!
Whoa.
Where
Okay.
the hell are we now?
Oops.
I think I goofed.
Oh, was there another letter up there?
There might have.
Oh,
Okay, never mind. We didn't goof. That was just for more lives.
Yeah.
Which, you know, look at my current roster.
You can't even see.
I'm literally full of heart.
We still don't actually know where Pom Pom is or where the end of your hearts are. Okay.
I'm pretty sure a gorilla shouldn't have that many hearts in his body to begin with.
He's just okay. Oh, boss time.
Oh, actually, we're already here.
Oh,
Bitch.
all right. But anyway, the Wario fact I learned was that
Oh, actually, wait. You know what, Hype? You were right. That Clam is the boss, but he sure did shrink.
Yeah. Oop.
yeah, it looks like it's just pinball.
Now, real quick before you forget the Wario fact.
Wario fact was that at the very beginning of Wario World, Jerry
Mike, stop that!
is that at the very start of Wario World, when he realizes that his whole castle is falling apart because of that gem he found, as the camera is zooming out, you still see Wario's expression as he's like freaking out as everything's falling down. And they showed they did that camera boundary break thing to show that if you move the camera down, the reason why you can still see Wario's expression even when it's zoomed out is because they just actually like enlarge his head as you zoom away to show him like shouting in terror as everything's falling apart.
Wait, what?
In Wario World, when the castle is falling apart at the very start of the game,
Uh-huh.
as basic, I'll find the tweet. Hang on. I'm gonna grab it here.
So wait, they literally enlarged the size of his head
Yes.
for that whole sequence just so you can actually see his expression?
Yes.
Which, I mean, that's not saying a lot considering his expression there was still pretty hard to read.
Yeah. Let me pull it up here.
So yeah, we have more or less left the wet city of Atlantis again,
Yeah.
or excuse me, Kremlantis, and we're heading on to the Rocky Mountains. Although that being said, I think maybe we could save this for another time. So with that all said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our first half of this Donkey Kong Land venture.
Mhm.
We'll see you all next time as we tackle the other half, and maybe, just maybe, get a re-evaluation of Cranky's long-lost past.
Oh my gosh, this is it.
Scandalous.
Delightful.
Holy hell, who is that hot broad?